Sarah's fingers trembled as she held the pregnancy test, her heart pounding against her ribcage like a drum. The morning sunlight streamed through the bathroom window, casting a warm glow on her face as she watched two pink lines appear, clear as day. The sound of her husband Michael's footsteps echoed through their modest suburban home in Springfield, Massachusetts, growing louder as he approached the bathroom door. "Sarah?" His voice was soft, concerned. "Everything okay in there?" She opened the door, tears of joy streaming down her face. The pregnancy test shook in her hands as she showed it to him, her voice barely a whisper. "We're going to be parents, Michael." The wooden floor creaked beneath them as Michael swept her into his arms, his cologne mixing with the fresh scent of morning air drifting through the open window. Their laughter echoed through the house, a symphony of pure joy that seemed to make the walls vibrate with happiness. None of them could have predicted how their journey would unfold, or the extraordinary discovery that awaited them in the months to come. Living in their cozy two-story house on Maple Street, Sarah and Michael Thompson had always dreamed of starting a family. Both 32 years old, they had met 5 years earlier at a local charity event where Michael, a high school music teacher, had been performing with his students. Sarah, a pediatric nurse at Springfield General Hospital, had been volunteering at the event. Their connection had been instant, the kind of love that seemed written in the stars. The news of their pregnancy spread through their tight-knit community like wildfire. Their neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, an elderly woman who had lived on Maple Street for over 4 decades, was the first to bring over a homemade casserole, her eyes twinkling with joy as she shared stories of raising her own children. The local church group, led by Pastor David, organized a prayer circle for the expecting parents, their voices rising in harmony every Sunday morning. Sarah's first prenatal appointment was scheduled for a crisp autumn morning. The leaves outside Dr. Jennifer Martinez's office were turning golden, creating a carpet of warm colors on the ground. As Sarah lay on the examination table, the cool gel on her stomach making her shiver slightly, she squeezed Michael's hand. The sound of the ultrasound machine filled the room with its steady rhythm. Dr. Martinez's expression changed suddenly, her eyebrows furrowing as she moved the ultrasound wand across Sarah's abdomen. "Well, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, it seems you're in for quite a surprise." Sarah's heart skipped a beat. "Is something wrong?" A smile spread across Dr. Martinez's face. "Not at all. You're having twins." The world seemed to stop spinning for a moment. Sarah could hear her own heartbeat in her ears, feel Michael's hand tightening around hers. Twins. The word echoed in her mind like a beautiful melody. "Look here," Dr. Martinez pointed to the screen. "Baby A and baby B, both looking healthy and strong." Michael's eyes welled with tears as he stared at the grainy black and white image. "Two miracles," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. As the weeks passed, their preparation for the twins became all-consuming. The spare room was transformed into a nursery, its walls painted a soft mint green. Michael spent weekends assembling furniture, the sound of his power tools mixing with the music he always played. Everything from classical Mozart to contemporary pop songs that made Sarah laugh and dance as she folded tiny onesies and arranged stuffed animals. Their community rallied around them. The local mothers group, led by Sarah's best friend Emma Watson, organized a spectacular baby shower at the community center. The room was decorated with twinkling lights and pastel balloons, the tables laden with gifts and homemade treats. Sarah sat in a decorated chair, opening present after present, each one accompanied by advice and well wishes from women who had walked this path before her. But as her pregnancy progressed, Sarah began experiencing unusual symptoms that went beyond typical pregnancy discomfort. The pain in her lower abdomen was different, sharper, more intense. At night she would lie awake, listening to the tick of the bedroom clock, her hands resting on her growing belly as she tried to quiet her growing anxiety. During her 20-week checkup, Dr. Martinez noticed something unusual on the ultrasound. The room grew quiet, the only sound being the steady whoosh-whoosh of the baby's heartbeats. The doctor's brow furrowed as she studied the screen intently. "I'd like to schedule you for a more detailed ultrasound," she said carefully. "There's something I want to get a better look at." The drive home was silent, the autumn rain pattering against the windshield matching the rhythm of Sarah's racing thoughts. Michael reached across the console to hold her hand, his thumb tracing gentle circles on her skin. "Whatever happens, we're in this together," he promised, his voice steady and sure. The following weeks were a blur of additional tests and consultations. Each appointment brought new questions and few answers. The specialists spoke in careful terms about anomalies and unusual developments, their voices measured and professional as they pointed to various shadows on ultrasound screens. Sarah threw herself into research, spending long nights at their kitchen table, the blue light of her laptop illuminating her worried face as she searched medical journals and pregnancy forums. Michael would find her there in the early hours of the morning, gently coaxing her back to bed, his arms wrapped protectively around her as they lay in the darkness, listening to the wind whisper through the trees outside their window. Their community continued to support them, though now with an undercurrent of concern. Casseroles appeared on their doorstep with increasing frequency. Prayer circles grew larger. Mrs. Henderson started bringing over her special herbal tea, claiming it had helped her through difficult times during her own pregnancies. At 32 weeks, Sarah woke in the middle of the night, gasping in pain. The moonlight cast long shadows across their bedroom as Michael helped her dress, his hands steady despite the fear evident in his eyes. The drive to Springfield General Hospital was a blur of streetlights and nervous energy. The delivery room was a flurry of activity. Dr. Martinez's face was serious behind her surgical mask as she prepared for the emergency C-section. The overhead lights were harsh and bright, the beeping of monitors creating a tense symphony of medical urgency. "Stay with me, Sarah," Michael whispered, his voice cracking slightly as he held her hand. He was dressed in surgical scrubs, his usually neat brown hair hidden under a cap. The surgery began and time seemed to slow down. Sarah could feel pressure but no pain as Dr. Martinez and her team worked. The room was filled with the murmured conversations of medical professionals, the clink of instruments, the steady beep of heart monitors. Then suddenly a cry pierced the air, strong and healthy. "Baby A is here," Dr. Martinez announced. "A beautiful baby girl." Sarah's tears of joy mixed with relief as she heard her daughter's first cries. But there was no time to celebrate as the team continued working, preparing to deliver the second twin. The room grew quiet. Too quiet. The tension was palpable. As Dr. Martinez worked, her movements becoming more focused, more intense. The silence was broken only by the continuing cries of their newborn daughter and the steady beep of monitors. "Dr. Thompson," one of the assisting doctors said quietly, "you need to see this." The next few minutes were a blur of medical terminology and urgent discussions. Sarah could feel the tension in Michael's hand as he gripped hers tighter. Finally, Dr. Martinez stepped into view, her eyes serious above her surgical mask. "Mr. and Mrs. Thompson," she began carefully, "we've discovered something unprecedented. What we thought was baby B, it's not what we expected." The revelation that followed would change their lives forever. What the medical team had discovered wasn't a second baby at all, but rather a rare type of complex fibroid tumor that had grown alongside their daughter, mimicking a second fetus on ultrasounds. The medical community would later document this as one of the most unusual cases in obstetric history. The hours that followed were a whirlwind of emotions, relief that their daughter was healthy and strong, grief for the twin they had imagined but never had, worry about Sarah's recovery, wonder at the mysteries of the human body. Their daughter, whom they named Hope Elizabeth Thompson, was perfect in every way. 6 pounds, 4 ounces of pure miracle, with her father's dark hair and her mother's green eyes. As Sarah held her for the first time in the recovery room, the early morning sun casting a golden glow through the hospital window, she felt a complex mix of emotions she couldn't quite name. The news spread through their community, but not in the way they had feared. Instead of whispers and speculation, they were met with an outpouring of love and support. The church organized a meal train that would last for months. Emma coordinated a schedule of visitors to help with household tasks. Mrs. Henderson showed up every morning with fresh muffins and her special tea, now accompanied by practical advice about newborn care. Sarah's recovery was slow but steady. Physical healing was straightforward, but emotional healing took more time. She found solace in unexpected places, in the quiet moments nursing Hope in the middle of the night, in the way Michael would sing soft lullabies to their daughter, in the gentle understanding of other mothers who had faced their own unique challenges. Michael took several weeks off from teaching to help at home. His students sent a video of them performing a special song they had written for Hope, the melody sweet and simple, the lyrics full of joy and welcome. Sarah played it often, smiling as she watched Hope's tiny face turn toward the sound of the music. As the weeks turned into months, their new normal began to take shape. The nursery, originally set up for twins, was redesigned for Hope. The second crib was donated to a local women's shelter, a decision that felt like both an ending and a beginning. Sarah found herself drawn to support groups for parents who had experienced pregnancy loss, finding comfort in sharing her unique story and helping others navigate their own grief. Hope grew and thrived, bringing joy to everyone she met. Her first smile, captured on Michael's phone at 2 months old, was shared countless times among family and friends. Her laugh when it came at 4 months was like music, making even the most difficult days brighter. 1 year after Hope's birth, Sarah stood at a podium in Springfield General's auditorium, sharing her story at a medical conference. Her voice was steady as she spoke about their journey, about the importance of hope in the face of uncertainty, about the strength found in community support. Michael sat in the front row, holding Hope, who was dressed in a tiny floral dress, her dark curls tied with a ribbon. "Our story isn't the one we thought we'd be telling," Sarah concluded, her eyes meeting Michael's across the room. "But it's ours, and it's perfect in its own way. Sometimes the most unexpected journeys lead us exactly where we need to be." The impact of their experience rippled outward in ways they never could have predicted. Sarah became an advocate for improved prenatal imaging techniques and started a support group for parents facing unusual pregnancy complications. Michael composed a lullaby inspired by their journey, which he now played not only for Hope, but for his students, teaching them about resilience and the power of love in the face of unexpected challenges. Their home on Maple Street became a gathering place for others facing difficult pregnancies or loss. The kitchen that had once been filled with Sarah's late-night worries now hosted support group meetings, the air filled with the aroma of Mrs. Henderson's tea and the sound of shared stories and gentle laughter. Hope's second birthday party was a celebration of life and community. The backyard was filled with bubbles and balloon animals, the sound of children's laughter mixing with the music Michael and his students performed. Dr. Martinez attended, now not just their doctor, but a friend, watching with pride as Hope toddled around the yard in her party dress. As the sun set on that perfect autumn day, Sarah and Michael sat on their porch swing, Hope sleeping peacefully between them. The street was quiet except for the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze and the distant sound of a wind chime. "Do you ever wonder," Sarah asked softly, "about how differently things could have turned out?" Michael was quiet for a moment, his hand finding hers in the growing darkness. "Sometimes," he admitted. "But then I look at Hope, at our life, at this amazing community we have, and I know that everything happened exactly as it was meant to." Sarah nodded, feeling the truth of his words settle in her heart. Their journey had been unexpected, filled with moments of fear and uncertainty, but it had led them to this moment, to their beautiful daughter, to a stronger marriage, to a deeper appreciation for life's mysteries and miracles. The story of the Thompsons became part of Springfield's fabric, whispered among expectant mothers as a tale of hope and resilience. It was shared in hospital waiting rooms and church basements, at baby showers and support group meetings. It reminded people that sometimes the most beautiful stories are the ones that don't follow the expected path. As Hope grew, she would sometimes ask about the ultrasound pictures hanging in their family album, the ones that showed what they thought were two babies. Sarah and Michael were always honest with her, explaining in age-appropriate ways about their journey to become her parents. They taught her that family isn't always what we expect it to be, but it's always what we need. Years later, when Hope was starting kindergarten, Sarah found herself standing in the nursery-turned-big girl room, looking at the mint green walls that had witnessed so much of their story. The room had changed, now filled with books and toys, art supplies, and a small keyboard where Hope was already showing signs of inheriting her father's musical talent. But the feeling of miracle it held remained the same. On Hope's first day of school, as they walked her to the classroom, Sarah and Michael exchanged a glance that held volumes. Their daughter, strong and confident in her new backpack, was living proof that sometimes life's greatest gifts come wrapped in unexpected packages. The morning sun filtered through the maple trees lining their street, casting dappled shadows on the sidewalk. The air was crisp with the promise of autumn, carrying the distant sound of church bells and children's laughter. Another chapter was beginning. But the essence of their story, love, resilience, and the power of community, remained unchanged. Their journey had taught them that miracles don't always look the way we expect them to, that strength often comes from facing our fears head-on, and that love has the power to transform even the most unexpected circumstances into something beautiful. The Thompson family's story continues to inspire others, a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unexpected ways in which families are built, strengthened, and blessed. In the end, it wasn't just a story about a medical mystery or an unexpected discovery. It was a story about love that grows stronger through adversity, about a community that holds its members close in times of need, and about the countless ways in which life surprises us with its own version of perfect. As Sarah often said when sharing their story with others, sometimes the most beautiful chapters of our lives are the ones we never planned to write. And in the Thompson family's case, those unplanned chapters had created a story more meaningful and beautiful than they could have ever imagined. As the years continued to weave their tapestry of memories, the Thompson family's story evolved in ways that touched countless lives throughout their community and beyond. Hope's elementary school years blossomed into a period of remarkable growth and discovery, her natural curiosity and resilience reflecting the extraordinary circumstances of her birth. By the time Hope turned 7, Sarah had transformed her experience into a beacon of hope for others. She established the Unexpected Blessings Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting families facing complicated pregnancies and unusual medical situations. The foundation's headquarters, housed in a renovated Victorian building just off Main Street in Springfield, became a sanctuary for worried parents-to-be, its warm rooms filled with comfortable furniture and the constant aroma of Mrs. Henderson's legendary comfort tea, which she now supplied in bulk. Michael's music program at Springfield High School had evolved too, incorporating elements of their family's story into an annual musical production that celebrated life's unexpected turns. The show, titled Miracles in Motion, featured original compositions written by both Michael and his students, each piece telling a different story of triumph over adversity. Hope, already showing remarkable musical talent, would sit in during rehearsals, her small fingers dancing across the piano keys during breaks, creating melodies that seemed to capture the very essence of joy. The medical community continued to study their case, with Dr. Martinez presenting their story at international conferences. The unusual fibroid that had mimicked a twin became a catalyst for improved prenatal imaging technology, leading to earlier detection and better outcomes. For countless other families, Sarah was frequently invited to speak at medical schools, sharing her perspective as both a nurse and a patient, her presentations always ending with a powerful message about the importance of compassionate care. Their home on Maple Street remained a hub of community support, but it had evolved with them. The mint green nursery was now a vibrant music room, its walls adorned with Hope's artwork and family photos. The kitchen, where Sarah had spent so many anxious nights during her pregnancy, had become a gathering place for monthly support group meetings, where families shared their own stories of unexpected journeys and newfound strength. Mrs. Henderson, now in her 80s but still remarkably spry, had taken on the role of community grandmother, her wisdom and homemade treats a constant presence in their lives. She taught Hope to bake her famous muffins, the kitchen filling with laughter and flour dust as they experimented with recipes together. These baking sessions became a treasured tradition, often ending with deliveries to new families in the neighborhood or to the local hospital's maternity ward. The church community, led by Pastor David, had expanded their support programs based on the Thompsons' experience. The prayer circle that had once focused solely on Sarah's pregnancy now encompassed a wider mission of supporting families through all kinds of medical challenges. The church basement hosted weekly meetings for parents of children with rare medical conditions. The space transformed by soft lighting and comfortable seating into a haven of understanding and hope. Emma Watson, Sarah's best friend who had organized their baby shower years ago, had become the foundation's program director, her organizational skills and compassionate heart helping to extend their reach throughout New England. Under her guidance, the foundation established satellite support groups in neighboring states, each one carrying forward the message that beauty could be found in life's unexpected turns. Hope's academic journey reflected her unique start in life. Her teachers noted her extraordinary empathy for classmates facing challenges, and she often used her musical talents to comfort others. She composed her first complete song at age 8, a gentle melody she called The Heart's Echo, which she performed at the Foundation's annual fundraising gala. There wasn't a dry eye in the house as she played, her dark curls bent over the keys, her small hands moving with surprising confidence across the piano. The medical community's interest in their case had led to the establishment of a research grant in their name at Springfield General Hospital. The Thompson Family Grant for Innovative Maternal Care funded studies into unusual pregnancy complications, with a particular focus on improving early detection methods. Sarah served on the selection committee, her experience as both a healthcare provider and patient bringing valuable insight to the evaluation process. As Hope approached her 10th birthday, the Thompsons decided to document their journey in a book. The writing process became a family project, with Michael contributing chapters about the power of music and healing, Sarah sharing her medical insights and emotional journey, and Hope adding her own perspective through a series of illustrated poems. The book, titled Symphony of Hope, Finding Beauty in the Unexpected, quickly became a bestseller, its message resonating with readers around the world. The book's success led to speaking engagements across the country, with the family often traveling together to share their story. Hope would often perform at these events, her music providing a powerful emotional counterpoint to her parents' words. These presentations became known for their unique blend of medical information, personal narrative, and artistic expression, drawing audiences from both medical and general interest communities. Their neighborhood on Maple Street had changed over the years, with new families moving in and others moving on, but the sense of community remained strong. The annual block party, which had once celebrated the anticipated arrival of twins, had evolved into a celebration of life's surprises, with residents sharing their own stories of unexpected blessings. The Thompsons' front porch, with its comfortable swing and twinkling lights, remained a favorite gathering spot for neighbors seeking comfort or celebration. The impact of their experience continued to ripple outward in surprising ways. Medical students who had heard their story during training would write to share how it had influenced their approach to patient care. Families who had found hope through their foundation sent updates about their own journeys. Musicians inspired by Michael's compositions created their own works about resilience and hope. As Hope entered her teenage years, she began to take a more active role in the foundation's work. She started a youth program called Notes of Hope, which brought music therapy to children in the hospital's maternal fetal medicine unit. Her gentle presence and musical gifts brought comfort to worried families, just as music had comforted her own family during their journey. Sarah's role at Springfield General evolved as well. She became the coordinator of the hospital's family-centered care initiative, implementing programs that emphasize the importance of emotional support alongside medical treatment. Her office, with its wall of thank you notes and children's artwork, became a testament to the power of compassionate care. The Thompson home continued to evolve with their growing family's needs. The backyard, once the site of Hope's second birthday party, was transformed into a peaceful garden space where foundation members could find quiet reflection. A small studio was added above the garage, where Michael composed music and Hope practiced piano, their melodies floating out over the neighborhood like a blessing. Their story became part of the curriculum at several medical schools, used as a case study not just for its unusual medical aspects, but for its lessons about patient care and the importance of treating the whole family, not just the medical condition. Sarah was frequently invited to speak to medical students, her presentations always emphasizing the human side of medicine. The community's annual Christmas pageant, once a simple holiday tradition, had grown into a celebrated event that incorporated elements of their story. Michael directed the music while Hope played piano and sang. The performance always concluded with an original composition that celebrated the power of community and the beauty of unexpected gifts. As they approached the 10th anniversary of Hope's birth, the Thompsons organized a special celebration that brought together everyone who had been part of their journey. The event, held in the hospital's newly renovated courtyard, included musical performances, shared stories, and the announcement of a new initiative, the Hope Thompson Fellowship for Compassionate Care, which would fund additional training for medical professionals interested in improving patient support systems. The foundation's work had expanded to include research support, educational programs, and direct assistance to families facing similar challenges. What had started as one family's unexpected journey had grown into a movement that touched thousands of lives, proving that even the most challenging circumstances could lead to profound positive change. Throughout all these changes and growth, the core of their story remained the same: the power of love, the strength of community, and the beauty that could be found in life's unexpected turns. Their experience had shown that sometimes the most difficult journeys led to the most meaningful destinations, and that hope could be found in even the most challenging circumstances. The Thompson story continued to unfold, each new chapter bringing fresh opportunities to share their message of hope and resilience. Their experience had shown that while life's path might not always follow our expected route, the journey itself could become a source of inspiration and healing for others. In the quiet moments when the day's activities had settled and the house was peaceful, Sarah and Michael would often sit on their porch swing, just as they had on that evening years ago. They would watch the sunset paint the sky in brilliant colors, listen to Hope practicing piano in her studio, and feel grateful for the unexpected turn of events that had shaped their lives in such meaningful ways. Their story had become more than just a medical case study or an unusual pregnancy outcome. It had evolved into a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the power of community support, and the unexpected ways in which life's challenges could become catalysts for positive change. The fibroid that had once caused such anxiety had become, in its own way, a gift, one that had opened doors to helping others and creating lasting change in their community and beyond. The legacy of their experience continued to grow, touching new lives and inspiring fresh hope in unexpected places. Through it all, the Thompson family remained grounded in their belief that every challenge held the potential for transformation, and that love and support could turn even the most difficult circumstances into opportunities for growth and healing. As the years continued to unfold, the impact of the Thompson family's journey reached far beyond their initial expectations. By the time Hope entered her junior year of high school, their story had become woven into the fabric of medical education across the country. Medical schools from Boston to San Francisco incorporated their case study into their curriculum, not just for its unique medical aspects, but as a cornerstone of teaching empathetic patient care. Hope, now 16, had blossomed into a remarkable young woman with her father's musical talent and her mother's compassionate heart. Her music room above the garage had become a sanctuary where she composed pieces that seemed to capture the very essence of healing. She had started giving piano lessons to children from the Foundation's support groups, her gentle teaching style helping young people process their own families' medical journeys through music. The Unexpected Blessings Foundation had grown into a national organization with chapters in 27 states. Sarah had taken a sabbatical from nursing to focus on expanding their programs, traveling across the country to help establish new support centers. Each center was designed to reflect the warm, welcoming atmosphere of their original Springfield location, complete with comfortable furniture, soundproof music rooms, and kitchen spaces where volunteers prepared Mrs. Henderson's famous comfort tea recipe. Mrs. Henderson, though now in her 90s, remained a beloved figure in their story. She had recorded her recipes and wisdom in a book titled Comfort Food for Difficult Times, which became a staple gift at Foundation centers. Her kitchen wisdom and gentle advice had been transformed into a series of cooking therapy sessions, where families facing medical challenges could find solace in the simple act of baking together. Michael's music program at Springfield High School had evolved into a comprehensive arts therapy curriculum. The annual Miracles in Motion production now toured to hospitals across New England, bringing hope and healing through music to patients and their families. Hope often joined these tours as a featured performer, her original compositions touching hearts and inspiring others to find their own ways of expressing their journeys. Dr. Martinez, approaching retirement, had established the Martinez-Thompson Fellowship at Springfield General, dedicated to training doctors in both the medical and emotional aspects of handling unusual pregnancies. The fellowship program attracted medical professionals from around the world, each bringing their own experiences and perspectives to enrich the growing body of knowledge about comprehensive patient care. The Thompson home on Maple Street had become a landmark of sorts, known throughout the medical community as a place where the boundaries between healthcare providers and patients had been gracefully dissolved. The garden, now a mature space filled with healing herbs and peaceful sitting areas, hosted regular gatherings where medical students could meet with families who had faced similar challenges to the Thompsons. Emma Watson's program director role had expanded to include international outreach. She coordinated with hospitals and support groups across Europe and Asia, sharing the Foundation's model of comprehensive family support. The annual Foundation Conference, which she organized, had become a major event in the medical community, drawing participants from around the globe. The church basement support group had grown into a multi-faith healing center, where families of all backgrounds could find spiritual comfort during medical challenges. Pastor David, though retired from regular ministry, continued to lead special services that combined elements of various faith traditions with the healing power of music, often featuring Hope's compositions. Sarah's book had been translated into 12 languages, its message of hope and resilience reaching families across cultural and geographical boundaries. The success of the book had led to a documentary series exploring different aspects of their story, from the medical mystery to the power of community support. The series, titled Unexpected Blessings: A Global Journey of Hope, featured families from around the world who had found strength through their connection to the Thompsons' story. Hope's Notes of Hope program had expanded into a full-fledged music therapy initiative, with trained therapists using her original compositions in hospitals across the country. The program had shown remarkable success in reducing anxiety levels in both patients and family members, leading to several research studies on the connection between music and healing in medical settings. The Thompson Family Grant for Innovative Maternal Care had funded breakthrough research in prenatal imaging technology, leading to earlier and more accurate detection of unusual pregnancy complications. Each year, the grant ceremony brought together medical professionals and families whose lives had been touched by these advances, creating a powerful reminder of the impact one family's experience could have on many. As Hope prepared for college, she planned to study both music therapy and pre-med, hoping to combine her artistic gifts with her desire to help others through medicine. Her college application essay, which reflected on growing up as the child whose birth story had touched so many lives, earned recognition from several prestigious universities. Sarah and Michael had begun working on a second book, this one focusing on the ripple effects of their experience and the countless ways in which their story had influenced others. The book included testimonials from families around the world, medical professionals who had changed their approach to patient care, and community members who had been inspired to start their own support initiatives. The annual block party on Maple Street had evolved into a community wellness festival, drawing people from across the state to celebrate the power of community support and healing. The event featured musical performances, cooking demonstrations, using Mrs. Henderson's recipes, and workshops on various aspects of family support during medical challenges. The research grant in their name had led to the development of new protocols for handling unusual pregnancy complications, with an emphasis on both medical and emotional support. These protocols, known as the Thompson Protocol, were being implemented in hospitals across the country, ensuring that other families would receive the comprehensive care they needed during challenging times. Their story had become a symbol of hope in medical communities around the world, demonstrating how one family's experience could lead to lasting positive change. Medical conferences often featured sessions about the Thompson effect, the powerful combination of medical expertise, community support, and artistic expression in promoting healing. The Foundation's youth program, inspired by Hope's example, had grown to include art therapy, music lessons, and peer support groups for children whose families were facing medical challenges. These programs helped young people process their experiences through creative expression, following the model that had worked so well for Hope. The impact of their journey continued to grow in unexpected ways. Former medical students who had learned from their case now led departments at major hospitals, implementing patient-centered care protocols inspired by the Thompsons' experience. Families who had found support through the Foundation went on to create their own support networks in their communities. Their home remained a gathering place for hope and healing, its doors always open to those seeking comfort or understanding. The porch swing where Sarah and Michael had spent so many evenings remained a favorite spot for quiet reflection, its gentle motion seeming to rock in time with the eternal rhythms of life and healing. As they looked toward the future, the Thompsons remained committed to their mission of turning unexpected challenges into opportunities for growth and healing. Their story had shown that even the most difficult circumstances could lead to profound positive change, touching lives in ways they never could have imagined. The legacy of their experience continued to evolve, reaching new generations and inspiring fresh approaches to medical care and community support. Through it all, they remained grounded in the knowledge that every challenge held the potential for transformation, and that love and support could turn even the most difficult circumstances into opportunities for growth and healing. Their journey had become a testament to the power of hope, the importance of community, and the endless possibilities that arise when people come together to support one another through life's unexpected turns. As they watched the sun set over Maple Street, Sarah and Michael knew that their story would continue to inspire and heal for generations to come, a lasting reminder that sometimes life's greatest blessings come in unexpected packages. As Hope prepared to leave for college, the impact of the Thompson family's journey continued to ripple outward in ever-widening circles. The autumn air was crisp with possibility as they helped her pack for her first semester at Johns Hopkins University, where she had been accepted into a pioneering dual program in music therapy and pre-medicine. The program had been specifically designed with input from the Unexpected Blessings Foundation, incorporating the lessons learned from their family's experience. The foundation itself had undergone a remarkable transformation. What had started in their cozy home on Maple Street had grown into an international movement, with satellite offices in 38 countries. Sarah's vision of comprehensive family support during medical challenges had resonated across cultural and geographical boundaries, touching lives from Tokyo to Toronto, from Sydney to Stockholm. Mrs. Henderson's legacy lived on through a scholarship program established in her honor after her peaceful passing at the age of 97. The Henderson Healing Arts Scholarship supported students pursuing careers in integrative medicine, combining traditional medical training with alternative healing practices. Her famous comfort tea, now produced by a local organic herb farm, was shipped to foundation centers worldwide, its soothing aroma becoming a symbol of hope and healing for thousands of families. Michael's music therapy program had evolved into the Thompson Center for Healing Arts at Springfield General Hospital. The center occupied an entire wing of the hospital, its spaces designed to promote healing through a combination of music, art, and community support. The walls were adorned with Hope's artwork and photographs documenting their journey, while the sounds of gentle music, much of it composed by Hope and Michael, floated through the corridors. The medical community's interest in their case had led to groundbreaking research in prenatal imaging and diagnostics. The Thompson protocol for handling unusual pregnancy complications had become standard practice in leading hospitals worldwide. Medical students now studied not just the technical aspects of their case, but also the human elements that had made their story so powerful. Hope's Notes of Hope program had expanded beyond its original scope, developing into a comprehensive arts therapy curriculum that was being implemented in children's hospitals across the globe. Young patients found solace and strength in music, their own stories of healing becoming part of the greater symphony that had begun with Hope's birth. The annual Foundation Conference, now held in major cities around the world, had become a gathering point for medical professionals, alternative healers, artists, and families touched by similar experiences. The event combined medical presentations, with musical performances, art exhibitions, and healing workshops, creating a unique space where science and spirituality could coexist harmoniously. The Thompson home on Maple Street remained a touchstone for their community, though its role had evolved. The garden had been expanded to include a meditation labyrinth and healing garden, designed with input from horticultural therapists and landscape architects. Each plant and pathway had been chosen for its therapeutic properties, creating a space where visitors could find peace and renewal. Sarah's second book, Beyond the Unexpected, A Global Journey of Healing, had become a bestseller in multiple countries. The book chronicled the ways in which their family's experience had influenced medical care and community support worldwide. It included stories from families in different cultures who had found hope and healing through their connection to the Thompsons' journey. The research grant program had expanded to include fellowships in integrative medicine, supporting medical professionals who sought to combine traditional medical practice with alternative healing modalities. Each year, the grant ceremony brought together practitioners from diverse backgrounds, all united in their commitment to treating the whole person, not just the medical condition. The impact on medical education had been particularly profound. Universities around the world now offered courses based on the Thompson family's experience, examining the intersection of medical care, community support, and creative expression in healing. Medical students were encouraged to develop not just their technical skills but also their capacity for empathy and understanding. The Foundation's youth program had grown to include summer camps where children from medical families could explore various forms of creative expression while connecting with others who understood their experiences. These camps, held in locations across the country, provided a safe space for young people to process their emotions through art, music, and storytelling. Hope's original compositions had been compiled into a series of therapeutic music collections, each designed to address specific emotional needs during medical challenges. These recordings were now used in hospitals and healing centers worldwide, their gentle melodies bringing comfort to countless families facing their own unexpected journeys. The community support model developed by the Foundation had been adapted for various cultural contexts, proving that the basic human needs for understanding and connection transcended geographical and cultural boundaries. Support groups modeled after the original Maple Street meetings now gathered in communities around the world, each adding its own cultural elements while maintaining the core principles of compassion and understanding. Dr. Martinez's retirement had marked the beginning of a new phase in the hospital's approach to patient care. The Martinez-Thompson Center for Comprehensive Care had been established, combining cutting-edge medical technology with holistic healing practices. The center became a model for other hospitals seeking to integrate traditional and alternative approaches to healing. The documentary series about their story had sparked a global conversation about the role of community support in medical care. Healthcare systems around the world began to examine their approaches to patient support, many implementing programs inspired by the Thompson family's experience. The annual block party on Maple Street had evolved into an international festival of healing arts, drawing participants from around the world. The event featured performances by musicians who had been inspired by Hope's compositions, workshops, led by healers from various traditions, and exhibitions of art created by families during their own medical journeys. The Thompson Protocol had been expanded to include guidelines for supporting families through various types of medical challenges, not just pregnancy complications. Hospitals implementing these protocols reported improved patient outcomes and higher satisfaction rates among both patients and medical staff. As Hope embarked on her college journey, she carried with her not just the lessons learned from her family's experience, but also the knowledge that their story had become part of something much larger than themselves. Her dorm room at Johns Hopkins included a small electric piano, allowing her to continue composing healing music, even as she began her medical studies. Sarah and Michael found themselves entering a new phase of their own journey, focusing on mentoring the next generation of healthcare providers and healers. They traveled to medical schools and healing centers around the world, sharing their experience and wisdom with those who would carry their legacy forward. The Foundation's research division had begun studying the long-term effects of integrative healing approaches, documenting the ways in which creative expression and community support contributed to medical outcomes. The results of these studies were helping to shape healthcare policies and practices worldwide. Their story had become more than just a medical case study or an inspiring tale of resilience. It had evolved into a movement that was reshaping the way people thought about healing, community, and the power of unexpected blessings. The fibroid that had once caused such anxiety had become a catalyst for positive change on a global scale. Each evening, as the sun set over Maple Street, Sarah and Michael would still sit on their porch swing, marveling at the ways in which their journey had touched so many lives. The gentle creaking of the swing seemed to echo the rhythms of healing that their story had set in motion, a reminder that even the most challenging circumstances could lead to profound transformation. The legacy of their experience continued to grow and evolve, touching new lives and inspiring fresh approaches to healing and support. Through it all, they remained grounded in their belief that every challenge held the potential for transformation, and that love and support could turn even the most difficult circumstances into opportunities for growth and healing. Their journey had become a testament to the power of hope, the importance of community, and the endless possibilities that arise when people come together to support one another through life's unexpected turns. As they watched the stars emerge in the evening sky, Sarah and Michael knew that their story would continue to inspire and heal for generations to come, a lasting reminder that sometimes life's greatest blessings come wrapped in unexpected packages, waiting to be unwrapped by those with the courage to look beyond the surface and see the potential for transformation within.